Hello out there. My name is Daryl, and this is Keto Life, and I do a lot of barbecuing and smoker. This is my new smoker, and this is a cart for the Smokin It electric smoker, and this box is heavy. This box is heavy. We're going to start with the cart. We're going to unbox everything, and then I'll put it together, and everything will be, hopefully I can figure out how to get it in fast motion. But let's start now. Oh, this is from Smokin It, and it's got really good reviews. Says it's built like a tank, and you know, I wanted a electric smoker, and you know, they're low to the ground. A lot of them are made to where they just sit on the ground, and then you got to be on your knees to do anything with them. And I got tired of that. That's why I seen this one, and it came with its, or you can buy a cart separately for it that's made for it, and that's why I got this one. Oh, and this is not a paid promotion or anything, but this little knife here is a Cutco knife, and it's made in America, actually, Olean, New York. I used to sell them, and you can only get them through Vector Marketing, and I have a whole household of, or whole kitchen knife set of Cutco, and also a hunting knife and a fishing knife, blah blah blah. You cannot beat the sharpness or anything of it. Oh, so let's lay these out and figure out well, 6 pictures. Seems pretty easy, don't it? We'll see. I like easy. In fact, let's make things easy for my back. I'm 56 years old, and I've been trying to take care of my back all my life. A lot of my friends, a lot of people I know get disabled pretty quick because of not taking care of their back. So if you're young out there, always take care of your back. If somebody asks you to do something, blah, 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 you know, think about it, be careful about it, use your knees as much as you can. You might have saw me pick up this wrong, but it's not that bad. We sincerely try to recycle, but it's not been working out because unfortunately, they can't get anybody to drive the recycle trucks because this COVID stuff, you know, everybody wants to stay home and make money, but I think that's ended. Wheels, these things. We certainly have a lot of cardboard, which if I was home every day, I'd probably take my recycle bin and drive it down to the recycle center, but then they said I had to separate it myself. And I said, what are you going to do with it? They said, well, just throw it in the garbage. I'm like, All right. But they said recycling start up in 60 to 90 days, and that was last month, so hopefully it's another 30 days. I'm just gonna pause it for a little while and try to figure this out. Maybe by the time we come back and start it over, we'll have it done. But then I'll unbox that. Okay, here's what I've got done to the cart so far, and the directions are kind of confusing, but I had to look at the cart on the picture. I had to look it up on the website, and first thing I did, I put this plate down here to get the right proportions, and then I put these pars first, and what they give you is these things here, and you can see down there that that's what they give you to put in, and you can't just hand tighten them. You got to have like a screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, and a pair of channel locks or pliers or something to hold these plastic things, because you're not going to do it with your fingers unless you're Superman. So I'm going to put this one in, and then I think we have to work on the shelves, what's down there, and then I'll come back and show you my progress. Well, I think what holds this plate down here, there's really nothing to hold it down, but I think the casters, those casters, once I screw them in down here, they'll be nice and snug and hold that plate together. To me, to hold that big heavy thing, they think they'd have something better than this stuff. Eventually, if it jiggles or anything, I might go to the hardware store and buy the bolts and nuts and washers to redo all this stuff, you know. Seems kind of weird to me. But anyway, if that helps you at all when you buy your cart, if you buy one of these smokers, like I said, I put these things up together. These things, I stood them up, And of course I went by that diagram there, and then the rest was confusing. I mean, what the heck? So but I put this in first, then I put these in, then I put that in. I'm going to put the other one in, and I'll come back later and show you where I go from there. Okay, another step I figured out was this piece here. I noticed the large holes, and I put that one there. See, and of course it'll match up with the holes for the casters, and then it's got like that, and then it's got holes up here to screw a screw in there. And so the casters, that gives it, that makes sense. Okay, and so far so good. I'm gonna put the casters on next and bolt these on here and all that, and then after I get the casters on, we'll work on the shelves, and I'll tell you how to do that, because nobody else, it's not on YouTube, and the cart they put together on YouTube is nothing like this cart. Completely different than this cart, so bear with me. Look what was in the caster bag. This wrench, 4 nuts, and so far I've found 3 of those. One's probably hiding somewhere. This bag, I may be missing a nut, but I probably have one in my tool stuff. Oh, there it is. So there's 4, probably a washer on each side of that, so that comes up pretty good. So that was in the caster bag, all these nuts, bolts, and the wrench and all that to work on it. Those casters are pretty heavy duty. 2 of them are locking, so you got to pay attention to that. 2 go on the back and 2 go on the front, and the ones on the back lock. Or you can do whatever you want to, I guess. Might be sense to make a caddy corner, huh? One on one corner, one on the other. That way you can lock them and it won't move anyway. I might do that. We'll see how that works out. I'm keeping going. I got all that attached. So casters next, and then I'll work on the shelves. These things here have something to do with the shelves, so they go down and everything. There's 4 of them, so 1 on each side of the shelf. So we'll keep plugging at it. I think I'll set up the camera so these directions wasn't much good, I tell you. You can't tell how they're telling. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess maybe I should bolt those first. I'm going to stop it for now because this is going to be tedious work. Okay, I got the casters on. They went on pretty good. And I got the brackets on, these here. And let me tell you something. They shorted me 1 screw, and they sent me a screw that was completely unusable. See how, I don't know if you can tell, but it's completely stripped. And anyway, I've yet to figure out what these bolts are for, but I guess I'll figure it out sooner or later. They're probably for one each side of the shelf, but I know I'm going to have to use 16 to put these on. These go on like this, and there's four of everything, but there's 4 nuts, 4 washers, and 4 locking washers, and there's 16 of them. So keep that in mind. Then you've got extras over here, more locking washers and more washers. So undoubtedly there's more to put on, but I'm going to keep plugging at it. Oh, the bolts, the wrench they give you, this here, I mean, it's good they give you a wrench to work with, but if you can get a socket, if you have got a socket set, let's see, what size is this? Oh, 3/4. 3/4 socket set, and it goes together. Now when you turn this thing here is going to turn too, so you can put a wrench right there and tighten it up more. Matter of fact, I think I can do that. Yeah, I can do that later. I can tighten them up even more. So I'm keeping plugging at it, and I'm going to tie these videos together, so if you get a cart and you want to put it together, you'll know about how to do it. I don't know if Model 1 or Model 2 will be the same. This is a particular to Model 3, so I don't know how similar they are, but we'll keep plugging at it. Yeah, this is the tedious point so far. Takes 4 screws, but there's enough to put a screw and a washer, and on the back side put a locking washer and the nut back there. And if you can't see, there's this thing here gets in the way, so I had to unscrew that to get that bottom nut to get on there. But yeah, it's tedious, but that's how it works, to hold the shelf up and you push these buttons and it goes back down. So that's a pretty cool system. But anyway, I'm gonna get the next 4. Okay, I got them all on, the brackets for the shelving there, and I'll go into those next. If you're interested in when these bolts go on, it's the nut, then a washer. On the back side is a locking washer and the nut. The nut back there is a 5/16 if you want to put a socket back there or a wrench, so you can tighten these up a little better. That's what I did. I got my 5/16 socket and just held the socket till I got it tight as I could get it. So all right, I believe I'll be working on the shelves next. I think that's the very last thing. I've got an awful lot of hardware left. I don't know what's going on with that, but all right, well, I'll come back later. Okay, so far this is the hardest thing to do. See, this is one of the screws up here, right there, and there's one back there, right there, and forget about washers up there because they're very, very hard to do. So I've got to do this one and the other side, then I think I'm through. And look how much hardware I got left. I know I didn't leave anything out. Oh, this is to bolt these bolts are to bolt that thing in there. Okay, I got it. So when it's completed, I'll start over again. All right, peeps, we're done with it. And it wasn't hard to put together, especially with this video. It's going to help you out a lot. And these shelves, they just lift up and lock, and then you have to undo both sides to get it to go back down. So that's pretty cool the way that is. It helps to have a table to help you with all this, especially the shelves were kind of difficult because I told you the screws were hard to get in there, but I used my 5/16 to get up in there and screw it in. and that helped a lot. And really it locked in. I didn't even have to use the screwdriver on top to get them in. I am disappointed that these aren't, I mean, they're anti-rust and all that, and they might be some kind of metal that won't rust, but it's not stainless steel like the rest of it is. And so it kind of looks weird. See how that it's off? It's not shiny. But overall, I'm kind of okay with the sturdiness of this thing. It worked out. So next I'm going to do an unboxing video of this thing. It's the Smokin It Model. Well, it's what? Smokin It. See, Smokin It. Smokin It Model 3. 3D digital Wi-Fi. So it'll have an app on my phone that I can you know, control the smoker with. And I like that. You know, with my Masterbuilt, I could do that. With my other pellet smoker, I had a Pitboss KC Masterpiece, whatever, Platinum Series pellet smoker. And I didn't like that because, you know, pellet smokers don't give the smoking flavor. They can't come close to an electronic smoker or an offset smoker. Now I did sell my offset smoker today, and I only lost $50 on it. I paid $5.49 for it, and I sold it for $500. And I'm going to put it towards this smoker. This smoker was quite expensive. If you look it up on Smokin It website, and look up the Model 3, but I didn't pay that much for it. They went up. The week after I bought it, they went up about $150 on it. I couldn't believe it. I bought it just at the right time. Holy moly. But anyway, I'm going to set this up and I'm going to unbox it. Matter of fact, I can do that now, can't I? I've got some of these wheels locked. And I did do it one corner to the other corner, and it worked out pretty well. It won't move. So that's good, but when you undo it, it moves anyway. Those are good casters. All right, I'm gonna set up the camera. All right, got my Cutco knife. You know how these things are. Wow, kind of hurt. They say these are very well put together, very well packed, because you know they're stainless steel. They don't want it scratched or dented or whatever. FedEx brought it. This thing I think weighs 86 pounds. I think it weighs 86 pounds. Yeah, people complained it came up with a lot of styrofoam. But, you know, environmentalists hope they get rid of it. I hope they do too. Go with cardboard, something they can recycle. See, that looks bent, whatever it was. I think it's going to be part of it. I'm not sure. Not really. It says comes with wood chips. See the wood blocks? Those are supposed to be hickory wood blocks that you put in it, and it has an element, a 1200 watt element. And as long as you have this, the Wi-Fi 3D digital, it'll go up to 325. The website says it goes up to 250. Well, that's only the analog. But if you get the digital or the Wi-Fi, it can go up to 325. So if that goes out, I have to buy a new one, which is like 250 bucks. But it's warranted for a year. Now the smoker itself is warranted for 3 years. That's the best warranty you can find on a smoker. Electric smoker anyway. And let me tell you, I had two Masterbuilts. You know, I wore them out really and gave one away and sold the other one. And I mean, people are still using them, I guess, but the element went out, had to be replaced. The brain went out, it had to be replaced, and I didn't want to put that money into it. Well, I got the idea. The pellet smokers were so popular. I mean, you seen that Smoking God Traeger thing commercial probably. It popped up on everything when it first came out. And I'm like, that might be very good. So I got me that Pitboss, and it was quite expensive. I mean, not as expensive as this thing, let me tell you. But it had a pellet grill on one side, a grill on the other, gas grill, and it had, what I liked about it, had a flat top grill that was inserted on top of the gas grill. You remove the grates and it slid right in there, and you could make breakfast on it. That was really cool. But anyway, I used the pellet grill a few times, and there just wasn't the flavor that I got out of electric smokers. So the more I used it, the more I hated it. So I ended up selling that, and I lost quite a bit of money on that, because, you know, that's how things are. And ended up buying an offset smoker. The offset smoker was great. It was fun playing in the fire. It produced a good product. Now, I did overcook some ribs because I used the 321, which, you know, is great for electric smoker, or even the pellet grill. But on an offset, you got to baby that fire. I mean, you got to watch temperatures. You got to let it burn down to let it, you know, the temperature get down to where you want it. And then you can't let it go out. You got to add a little at a time. Keep the fire over there as far as this way in the smoke box, and keep your meat as far as over that way, away from the heat, and just to keep it low and slow. Oh my God. The last thing I cooked, which turned out really great, was a pork butt, which pork butt is a shoulder, you know, it's never the butt. The butt is a ham. The pork shoulder butt, whatever you want to call it, anyway, turned out really good, really good. But let me tell you, I leave out on Tuesdays. I'm a truck driver. We get back on Sunday, and we leave out on Tuesday. Well, I wanted to cook this butt and have it done so I could take it on the road with me. And so I started about 7 p.m. that night. We were just so busy, I couldn't get anything done. Couldn't get it started or anything. Had to get some more wood and stuff, and, you know, get ready for it. And that's another thing. We'll get back to that. But anyway, I started at 7 p.m. and then I had to baby that fire. You know, had to use, with that thing you have to use something like this to start your coals, you know, and that's not so bad. That's not hard. Then when it's done and it's through burning, you know, the fire goes out and it's just coals. You throw it in your smoker, and then you add a piece of wood for the wood smoke. Well, at that point, you can put your butt on, your shoulder, ribs, whatever, and monitor your temperature. I've got one thing with one probe that I put inside the butt, and then I had 4 probes to put in each quadrant of the smoker, so I knew what temperature each quadrant of the smoker was. And I mean, I paid attention to it. Make a long story short, about every 45 minutes to an hour I went out and checked it. From then to, I planned on going to sleep at midnight and waking up every hour. That didn't work out. You know how that is. I just couldn't go to sleep worrying about it. So every 45 minutes to an hour, I added wood as I needed to, charcoal as I needed to make it the right temperature. About 4 a.m. I said, that's enough. It's probably got enough smoke. So I preheated my oven to 225, and I put the pork roast in it, and I slept till about probably 9 o'clock in the morning. I got up, took it out. It was a wonderful, you didn't have to pull it apart. I mean, you just squeezed it like that, and it just came apart. And it was some of the best pork I've ever eaten. And I didn't inject it. I lightly coated it, mainly salt and pepper and garlic salt. You don't want to put too much on it. And you know, my wife didn't like weird flavors or bold flavors. I'm okay with the cup. But one more point, and I'll get back to this, is that when you have a pellet smoker, you're going to pay for pellets, and you're going to use pellets. You know, no matter what you're doing, you can use the gas grill, you use propane, that's fine, everybody does that. And then pellets. You cook on the pellet grill, you're going to use pellets. I mean, you use pellets. I mean, I didn't cook on it very often, and I probably went through 30 pounds of pellets. And they're not real cheap. They're not super expensive, but they're not real cheap. So I can imagine if I used it often, I'd be going through pellets and shelling out that money. And then I got the offset smoker. It's not cheap to run either. It's probably just as expensive as a pellet smoker to run, because, you know, you have to have charcoal, and I'm not talking about the briquettes like you do for like a kettle grill or something. But this kind of wood, this is cherry, and you buy a big bag of it. It's like $12.99 for a bag, and about every cook I went through probably half the bag, and probably a fifth of the bag of charcoal. So it wasn't horrible, you know, for a 12-hour smoke. And those big pieces, I would make them smaller so they wouldn't burn as hot, you know. That was my goal, and it worked out on that pork roast, and I enjoyed it, but I don't want to do it again. That night I decided, I'm selling this thing. I'm done. I'm not dealing with this. Playing with fire is fun, but I don't have the time to baby a fire for 12 hours, even 8 hours. You know, I'm a truck driver. I'm home Sunday, leave out on Tuesday. You know, if I was home all week, if I had a day job, 8 hours a day, I might consider an offset smoker, because it does produce a good product. But let me tell you, it did not produce my Masterbuilts, and that's why I wanted an electric smoker. And my wife said, if you're going to get an electric smoker, buy a good one. Buy one that's going to last us, and not something that's a 3 or 4 or 5 year deal. So on this model, on this Smokin It, Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, Model 4, Model 3.5, Model 5, whatever, all the components are changeable. Even this, the smoke box, everything is interchangeable. The box, you'll never, it's a heavy duty tank box is what they call it. And it'll always be good. It's stainless steel, that's one thing. And all the parts are come out and replaceable. So that's a biggie. I might need a bigger knife. Maybe not. I think I just need to get 2 sides, not all 4 sides. Yeah, a bigger knife would be nice. Whew, that's some work there. Yeah, it was packed pretty good. I don't don't know if that's going to be part of it or not. That might be in some kind of protector. I bet it was. Okay. This is going to be fun. I think this is supposed to be 86 pounds. 86 pounds. Oh, 12-foot cord. That's nice, isn't it? It don't matter to turn this upside down, sideways, or whatever. They said there's nothing really bad to do that with. And there's things inside it, of course. Oh, heck. Use your knees. Yeah, the reason I bought this is electric smokers to me are superior to pellet smokers, to offset smokers, for people who don't have a lot of time. I mean, pellet smokers, don't get me wrong, are set it and forget it, and that's nice. You set your temperature, it keeps the temperature, but it just don't produce the quality meat, the quality smoke that an electric smoker that I've dealt with. And this is supposed to be one of the top of the line smokers, electric smokers there is. And you can see how long it is. It's not particularly wide, but my Masterbuilts were maybe a little wider than this, but they wasn't near as deep. This is supposed to be made to put two slabs of ribs side by side without cutting them long ways like that. So the racks are already installed in there. That's cool. Here's the drip pan and the casters for it. I'm not going to need the casters because the casters are better on that cart. But I'm never going to throw away casters. It'd be good for something sometime. This is the drip pan. I want to turn this around. Oh, I've got a mess here I got to clean up. But don't think I'm going to set this up on that cart by myself. No. I've got a nephew here. He's big and powerful, so he can help me put it up on that cart and I'll bolt it down. He gets on TikTok a lot. I don't know what his name is. I'll ask him, and you can look him up on TikTok. He does some stuff. Woo. Come on. See how long that grill that is? It goes in and it's wide enough to put on. I'd say you might could fit two side by side on there, but I'd probably put one here and one on another one. I thought I'd have to install these. These come out too if you want to wash these. These come out. And all this stuff is supposed to be on a, there it is. That's the smoke box that you put that wood into. This is the heating element. It's supposed to be 1200 watts. And it's supposed to be able to, with the digital, goes up to 325 and the analog only goes up to 250. How can you cook chicken on 250? I mean, if you got a Smokin It, let me know, because 250 is kind of low for fowl. I mean, I guess you can, you just got to cook it a little longer. My Masterbuilt's only went up to 275, and that would cook a chicken really well. I always spatchcock my chicken. That might make a difference too in cooking time, because spatchcocking, that's when you cut the backbone out and make it more flat. Do my turkeys the same way. Nobody beats a smoked turkey for Thanksgiving. I'll never go back. I'll never get a fried turkey again. I'll never bake a turkey again. It's always going to be smoked. Anyway, I'm going to finish it up. Basically, you see what I got, and when it's on there, I'll add it to this video when it's on the cart and this is cleaned up. Oh, getting ready to season it. You must season everything you get. I don't care if it's a kettle grill, a pellet grill, a gas grill, a smoker of any type. You need to season it before you cook anything. There's stuff, preservatives and stuff that the manufacturer puts on the metals to keep it from rusting or staining or whatever. And that's one thing, you want to get the temperature up to 250 to, they say 225 for 4 hours, but I'm going to set this one at 250, 275 for 3 or 4 hours to season it. And you're supposed to put wood in the box, and that helps give a coating of smoke flavor and everything. So that just seasons it. And you don't want to wash it. You never wash these things out. Now, you keep foil on the bottom, and this here is a drip pan. It catches all the grease from down there. But what I plan on doing is on the bottom shelf, put a big turkey pan under my cooks. So my tin foil will stay clean, and this pan should stay pretty clean. But you can do that. This universe is ours. You can do it. But anyway, I'm going to clean up, finish putting all this together. Got 2 probes. So that's good. Also got these probes here. I got this at Walmart for like $15. It has 4 probes, so you can do 4 different areas. If you want to, I got this especially for my offset, but I'll be able to use it for this if I'm cooking multiple butts or something, or chickens or turkey or whatever. It's just fun. But we'll come back later. Okay, there it is, all set up, and it's smoking. It's up on the cart, looks real well. I got it bolted down, and it's a nice looking smoker all the way around. Just 90% stainless steel. I don't know why they didn't make those shelves stainless steel. I think they could have put a little bit more money, as much to pay for it, right? So just wanted to know I'm burning it out, and I'll post videos as I cook stuff, and as I prepare it, tell you what I do. And that'll wrap up this video. I know it's kind of a long one, but hey, putting the cart together, unboxing the smoker and all that. But it's been nice dealing with you today. Here's the train. That says goodbye.